If you want to learn from the pros and become the best Madden player possible, check out Playbook GG. Link is in the description and in the pinned comment below. What's going on, everybody? It's EricRayweather back here, and in today's video, I'm going to be bringing you the best defense to use in Madden 20 as of right now to start the year. I always like to bring you guys a kind of a defensive scheme slash formation that you can use to both contain the run, contain the pass, put pressure on the quarterback early in the year. This is honestly what the majority of people are running right now, and I want to state that before I get into the video, because anytime that I do any type of tip video, you always get those few comments that are saying, this is going to ruin the game, everybody's just going to run this because you posted it. Look, I have not posted a single actual money play, scheme, defense, any type of tip yet this year, and every single online game that I have played so far, I have seen this defense or some variation of it. Literally every single game. The reason being, good players play on Twitch, they use these things, people watch, and then people mimic it. So if you don't want to see the same things run online, then you don't want to play online, because it does not matter what game you play, you're going to see the same things ran, because what works the best is what people are going to use. But I'm going to show you how to scheme out of this, how to put pressure on the QB, how to contain the run. I'm going to also teach you some things you can do to combat this when you see it online, because whether I post this or not, I guarantee you're going to see this defense almost every game online, at least to start the year. So the formation is the 3-4 odd. This is in about half of the playbooks in the game. Some of the best playbooks to use this out of would be the Lions playbook, the Ravens playbook, the Patriots playbook. Those are going to probably be the best ones, but it's in all of the 3-4 base defensive playbooks. Now, what's really good about this formation is it's symmetrical. It looks the same on both sides. When you base align it, you have tons of different coverages out of it. You have ways to bring quick pressure. It's a balanced formation, meaning, in Madden, you can defend passing sets okay with 3-4 sets, whereas in real life, you would probably want to go more towards a nickel set. But in Madden, 3-4 sets can still defend the pass pretty decently, as long as you know what you're doing. But they also are good at containing the run, because you have a lot of defenders in the box. And this year, those pass-heavy defenses like Dime and Dollar, they get gashed by the run. So you want to try to stay away from those defenses, and you want to stay in a set that you can defend both. So the play you're going to see online a lot out of 3-4 odd is the pinch buck zero. It's a zero blitz that brings incredibly fast pressure. All you have to do to set this up is you want to base align, which is wire triangle, right on the left stick. You then want to show blitz, which is wire triangle, left on the left stick. And what that's going to do is it's going to bring everybody in. Typically, this guy is going to come down like this as well. Sometimes in practice mode, they don't always move the right way, but that's what's going to happen in game. They're going to all line up like that. And then after you baseline and show blitz, all you want to do is you want to contain your outside blitzers on the edge. So to do that, you press the LB or L1 button, and then you press the RB or R1 button. Now you have contains. So you've got man across the board, and you're blitzing 6. So if they don't block anybody off top, at least somebody should come in, because you have more rushers than blockers. What I like to do is I like to user control the linebacker in the middle. We see that he's manned up on Davante Adams, so I know it's my responsibility to cover Davante Adams. But I know if this blitz comes free, I don't have to cover for very long. It's going to be instant pressure. So what you're going to notice happen here is we're going to bail out, try to go cover him, and he was open for a second there, but that's how quick the blitz comes in. That's why this formation is good, is because when you have those extra rushers, the way they're lined up, they just come off the edge so quick. You could see how quick Clowney got in there. At this point right here, Rodgers has finished his drop back at this point, and he's getting hit. The thing with this defense that's so good is you make people have to make the right read in a second. They have to make the first read, and it has to be right, or else they're going to throw a pick. Now, if they block a running back, for example, sometimes it'll still come in game with a blocked running back. Sometimes a guy will still come free, because sometimes the offensive line might get confused and try to double team, one of the guys, and it'll let somebody come in free. But a lot of times, too, you will still be able to pick it up. So we'll show you here. You can see we're able to pick it up. And now, we had time to deliver a pass there, but I can't throw the ball and also control the defense. So you saw there that there was time to deliver a pass if somebody was open. So now, what people start doing is, I'm going to actually back out of this defense, and I'm going to show you this is what people start doing. And you're going to think it's crazy, but I've been using this for the past few days in the game, and I'm hardly getting scored on, because if you don't know what you're doing, the pressure's so quick that it doesn't matter if there's not a lot of coverage on the field. You have to make that split decision, and most online players cannot do that. So when people want to start blocking extra players, what you're going to want to do in 3-4 odd is actually go to engage 8. And just bear with me, because it's not just me running this. Some of the best players in the world are running this right now, and there's a reason for it, because if you can just be a good user defender, you can cover the first read quick enough in order for them to get sacked. So you set it up the same way. You want to base a line, you want to show blitz, it brings everybody in the gap like that, and then again you want to contain. Now the difference with this is you're going to want to make a couple adjustments to the safeties. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to user the safety either or, but usually I try to user the safety that's blitzing. So what you'll do after you base align, press, or excuse me, base align, show blitz, and then contain is you'll take this safety. You can leave them deep if you want, or you know, you can put them in a yellow. If you're expecting maybe something to the sideline of the flats, maybe you want to put him in a curl flat. Whatever you think is most necessary, you're going to put him in. You have the ability, or the offense has the ability to bomb you out of this, because you're going to have some players that aren't manned up. If they're on a streak, they could bomb them, but the thing is they have to make that right decision in a split second. Now I'm going to user this guy here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually block the running back here just to show you, because that's what most people will do once they get hit a little bit. They're like, alright, I'm blocking the running back, snap the ball. All I got to do is just kind of shoot around here. I just have to cover for a second. I just have to guess. That's what you're doing with when you bring this kind of pressure. It's a guessing game between you and the offense. You know that your heat is going to get there pretty much instantly, so they have to guess right, and if they guess wrong, they're going to either take a sack or they're going to throw a pick. I've caught so many interceptions already this year because people just panic and they throw. You see how quick the pressure comes off the edge, but we're blitzing 7 people, so this should happen. 6 blockers versus 7 blitzers, this is what's supposed to happen. You're supposed to get somebody free. So this isn't a glitch, this isn't, you know, people want to call it cheesy, but if I'm bringing more rushers than the offense is blocking, I should get somebody free. Now, let's just show you for the sake of, you know, just arguing. So if you're playing maybe a smarter player and he knows what you're doing, but we're going to get into how to switch things up in a minute. If he knows what you're doing, like for instance, the flats are wide open here. Now, I could manually shoot out there and cover the flats. Again, it's a guessing game, but let's say I don't. Let's say I kind of just sit over the middle for a second. Okay, boom, dump down to the flats, and look how wide open it is. So that's where it becomes a guessing game. Now, if I would have shot out there to guard the flat, then he would have got sacked, because, or he would have threw a pick. He either would have threw the pick to me, or he would have held on to the ball because he saw me shoot out there, and then boom, now he's got to take the sack. Now again, let's show. So let's say I run something like this, right? And let's say we leave everything on the play. I'm gonna man this guy up on the running back, and let's just pretend that this is me, the user. I'm gonna get off of him, but let's pretend that I'm going to cover the flat. And let's say my opponent has Adams on a streak, and that's his first read, and he looks and he says, "Oh, I'm just lobbing it up." Now you see, I still got hit there. We did catch the ball, but even that quick, I still got hit, because that's how quick the pressure can come. But maybe if I was just a little bit quicker, let's try it again, I could have got that for a touchdown. It's all a guessing game. That's what you're doing with this defense. It is all a guessing game. I've been burned a couple times running it, but I've stopped most people running it, because eventually you're usually going to win the guessing game as the defense, because they have to guess right every single play. You just have to guess right one time to get an interception or to get a strip sack, right? So, all right, let's see. I'm just throwing it up. Now I got a touchdown, but I had to have that quick of a reaction. So there are still ways to beat it, but now this is when the mind games come, because you don't want to blitz every single play. You absolutely don't want to do that. So let's say now I'm in a cover 3 and I do the same thing. I base align, I show blitz. It's the exact same look. Let's say I shade my coverage down because I want to cover the hard flat. So I press wire triangle down on the right stick. We have hard flats out here, and then, you know, we can back this safety up a little bit. And you could use her whoever. You could use her one of the safeties in this instance, or you could use her a linebacker. It's completely up to you. I'm not going to use her on this play. I'm going to actually just play the offense. So let's say we've been running that every play, you know, or not every play, but we've run it a few times. We got the guy scared. Maybe he's just going to predetermine his reads, because a lot of people do this. So they're going to snap, throw, oh, let me throw to the flats, and we got that covered up. We just hit him, hit stick to me, drop the ball. But what's going to happen is 1 or 3 things there. Either that's going to be a pick. Sometimes that's a pick 6 when you throw it a hard flat, or he's going to get hit and drop the ball, or he's going to catch it for no gain. And you can mix up all of your coverages. So let's say we go to cover 2, which personally, I don't recommend cover 2 this year because the cloud flats are not good. But just for the sake of this video, let's say, okay, we're going to run a cover 2 here, you know, just to mix it up. I'm not saying you can't get stops with a cover 2, but cover 3 is definitely better. Cover 4, even just all-out man defense is better this year. But just for the sake of showing you different coverages you can use to mix it up. So, you know, let's say they're just expecting the blitz, and now, you know, they got all this coverage out here. They hold on to the ball a little bit too long, and you get block shitted. Because what happens is people, no matter who you are that plays this game, people have pre-snap reads, or maybe some people don't, and those are typically bad players, but you have an idea of what you think the defense is doing pre-snap, and you're basing your offense around that. So if I'm just so sure that pre-snap that it's going to be an all-out blitz, and the second I snap the ball, I see 7 people drop back, sometimes people freeze up and they're like, oh, the route I wanted to go to isn't open. They kind of hold the ball a little too long, and with the pass rush just stock being better this year and more, you know, they get block sheds quicker this year, you saw there that we held onto the ball and we took a sack. All of those things can happen when you run a scheme like this. You make it look the same every play. So let's say here we go cover 2 man, but again, we base the line, we show blitz. So it doesn't even look like man defense. It looks like a cover 0 blitz or a zone blitz. And I'm, you know, whoever I'm using, right? And maybe he even blocks the running back because he's expecting a blitz. So now, you know, he's actually taken one of his receiving options away, but now I've got all these guys here in coverage. I just have to, you know, user around, try to cover things up, and then again, eventually the block shed gets to you. That's what I love about this formation, is it's so easy to disguise your play, every single play. It's also easy to bring pressure, and it's good at stopping the run typically because of the fact that you have a lot of guys in the box. Another great thing about this formation, and it's a reason that people use it every year, is you have the cover 4 drop show 2, which is really good at containing the run. So even if you're dealing with like an under center type formation, you do the same thing. You can base the line, show blitz, so you're getting that same look. You might want to bring the safeties up just a little bit. When you're running a cover 4, the safeties are in run fits, meaning they have to watch for the run before immediately backpedaling. They have to be run first defenders. So they kind of stay flat-footed for a second, and if they see it's a run, they immediately start attacking. So when you want to just play a balanced stock coverage, you can come out in the cover 4. Typically, I would shade down. Again, that's wire triangle down on the right stick, because I want to defend the hard flats. Because a lot of people like just throwing quick flat passes, but this takes that away. And then what you have here is you have a lot of coverage on the field, but you also have the ability to at least contain the run. And of course, you want to use one of these guys, try to manually, you know, get in the gaps and stop it as well. But you notice how those safeties kind of come forward. We had Clowney, who's a beast. He just comes off the edge, but we're going to go to the replay. I want you to just watch the safeties. If you've been around my channel for a while, you know I've talked about this before. Watch how the safeties don't move immediately. They kind of stay flat-footed, whereas you see the cornerbacks are in a back pedal because that's what they're supposed to do. The safeties in a cover 4, they have to read first, and once they see, oh, it's a run, they start coming forward. And you see that because of this, Davante Adams has to actually go and block the safety instead of trying to get a hand on Clowney, because if that safety was just backpedaling initially, then maybe Adams would come pick up Clowney. But because of that, that frees Clowney up. We hit I think that's, who is that, Jones? Is that his name? Yeah, hit Jones in the backfield, and he doesn't gain any yards. So that's what's really good about this. But I want to go back to the blitz really quickly and show you, because a lot of people are going to use this blitz. You know, most people I don't think are going to use the actual engage 8. Most people are too scared to do that, which, I mean, it is scary to have only 4 people in coverage, but if you know how to use her and you practice it, you can be fine with it. A lot of people are going to run this version. One thing that really does well against this typically are stretch runs, and that's something I've used pretty consistently to beat it. I pound the ball against people that want to just blitz everybody. Now, yes, sometimes, you know, just by nature of things, yes, I still sometimes will lose yards or get no gain or get a minimal gain. That's going to happen, but there's a lot of times where I'm able to gash people because the way this is set up, as long as my blocking can hold just a little bit, you know, you can, I mean, right there we got absolutely stuffed. But a lot of times in game, you're going to have cutback lanes, or you're going to be able to get to the outside if you have good blockers. It's not going to always be successful, but a lot of times you can get to the outside. Right here, our blocking is just not setting up very well. But in game, this is something that I have used a lot to kind of get to the outside of these cover 0 blitzes. And a lot of times, that's all you have to do is make one guy miss with a juke. Really easy to make people miss with jukes this year. I know it doesn't look like much, but I'm just telling you, in game it works very well for me. But another thing you want to look at when people are running these cover 0 blitzes is you want to look for plays that have kind of double moves or maybe like wheel routes. So in the Oakland playbook, for example, in this gun tight slots, there's this play 4 verticals, and this is a play that does a good job at beating this. Now, you have to get rid of the ball quick. You will still get hit sometimes. That's just the nature of playing against this. But what I'll do is I'll block my running back just to help out a little bit, and then you can see that these wheel routes typically, usually they will get open. They will cut up the field, and you see, boom. the safeties or whoever's on them cannot defend this. And I've actually practiced this even against guys like Jalen Ramsey with cover 0 blitzes like out of nickel just to see, and even Jalen Ramsey has a tough time defending this. So don't think it's just these defenders. And again, I mean, Valdez-Scantling right there that just did, you know, burned him on that route. He's not the best route runner in the game. Jimmy Graham is a tight end, and look, he's creating separation. So what you want to do is you want to find routes like that in your playbook, wheel routes or like really quick double move routes to get up the field. And if you could have them on each side of the field, like right here, that makes it really hard for a user defender because he cannot take away both of them. So you need to just find little ways like that to beat people that want to all-out blitz you. There are plenty of ways to beat it, but the average person online, if you throw this type of a defensive scheme at them, they're just not going to know what to do because people are not good under pressure. So I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, as always, you know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.